Hello, today I have a cool little optimization that firmly puts this level around 55 FPS. It's actually a somewhat minor optimization, but this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And that is 4x3 matrices. So usually, when you have a 3D rendered game, you have a stack of 4x4 matrices that you multiply. And a matrix stands for like an actor's transformation. It can be scale, rotation, translation. So for example, Mario has a matrix, and then you multiply matrices on top of that to do like animations and stuff. So Mario has a matrix, and then Mario's body has a matrix, and they will get multiplied, and then Mario's head has a matrix, and it gets multiplied onto the multiplication result of the previous two, and that way you can attach things to things in 3D space. So usually you'd use 4x4, but we can actually use 4x3. And I'm not sure if this is a common technique. I know Unreal Engine, I don't know if it has that, but I know that the final output matrix you can get is a 4x4. So why is it 4x3 and not 4x4? What do we lose from that? Well, we lose the ability to do non-affine matrix transformations. So if we wanted to render an actor with like really weird properties, like let's say we wanted to render one thing at a field of view of 60 degrees and the entire rest of the scene at a field of view of 45 degrees. We wouldn't be able to really do that with this anymore, but that is such a weird and bizarre use case that I don't feel forced to support this in my engine. In fact, there is zero uses of this kind of behavior in Mario 64 as far as I'm aware. And I am very aware of Mario 64 source code. Now that means we have to change the way we generate matrices for the RSP, because the RSP does need 4x4 matrices. If it doesn't have those, then how is it gonna do any kind of like view matrix projection? So for that we do a little bit of trolling. It's very optimized code. It kind of has to look like this, otherwise we lose a bunch of cache lines to this. We don't want that. But yeah, it actually was a fairly straightforward thing to implement. There is a little bit of matrix you have to change for this. Mostly I had to change matrix math because I was doing stupid things like treating the matrix stack hat as a float pointer instead of a matrix pointer. But overall, easy implementation, saves maybe 10-20 microseconds and makes the code a little more precise. Bye bye.